Hello and welcome to the channel. Today, me and Benji are walking at Cinnamahoning State Park in, I believe it's Elk County, PA. We're doing the Lowlands Trail. It's an out and back trail. Seen a couple bikes on it in certain sections, but it's mostly just for people walking, and there's a few side cuts I think people fish off of because it basically follows the Cinnamahoning Creek. We've pretty much already done out. I circle around and hit the road, but I'm just going to do video on the trail today. And this is pretty much where we're going to be cutting down in and doing the backtrack. Usually it's about 7 miles out and back. I did GPS or did track this, and it was at 3.4 miles when I just looked. So 7 miles seems to be about right total. I'll let you know when we get finished. And I usually park at the ranger station down there, or park offices, I guess you call it. And I'll show you all that when we get back to the parking area. But let's get started and I'll show you the trail. All right, this is where you're going to cut down into the woods at, off the main park road. This is a one-way, traveling in the direction that I'm pointing now. And it's deciphered by the sign. It says LLT for the Lowlands Trail. A bunch of these little bridges that go over little streams and creek crossings. And start down over the hill. It is mostly a flat walk. There's not a lot of hills on it as far as climbing. If you were to come this way, you would be climbing up this. But this is pretty much it. Some little stuff, but nothing spectacular. So I don't even usually bring a hiking pole unless my knees hurt or something like that. For the most part, you really don't need it. Here we are at the bottom of that little hill. And it's a real easy trail to follow. Because, I mean, through here it's just a mowed pathway. Another sign for the LLT, Lowlands Trail. Come from up there. It's a really scenic park. It's really the only one I've ever seen elk at. So I'm pretty sure this is Elk County. It's real close to it. Actually, the first time I came here, there was a whole herd up in the one spot when we were driving through. It was really cool. Didn't realize just how big they were until that first time when I saw them. And I've seen a couple pretty big ones. One was, I swear, it was bigger than my truck, truthfully. But anyway, it's a real easy trail to follow. They keep it cut pretty decent most of the time. I think I was here once over the summer and it was a little high, but we had a really wet summer, and I think they just had a hard time keeping up on it because of as much rain as we were getting at the time. You know, I mean, it would rain and sun, so it's really hard to keep up on my yard at home when it's like that, so I can only imagine what it is keeping up on an entire park. But got Benji with me, as always, right there. And recently got a selfie stick for this, so trying that out, see if it makes the videos any better. My phone actually has the S Pen, but with that you're able to use the button on that to work the camera. You can't be in airplane mode, and being that we don't have service here, it'll kill my battery if I don't. So I was kind of hoping to use that a little bit, and I did for a little bit at the very beginning, but it was really hard on the battery, so I ended up shutting that out. And yeah, we'll get up to a trail up here where I think a bunch of people use for fishing. And I'll show you that when we get up to it. We're coming up on the first intersection on the backtrack that you come to. I mean, it's really just a three-way. You're going to stay straight or go right. Got this little loop thing cut into it to the left when you're heading this way, which would be, I believe we're walking north. I don't have my compass out, but I'm pretty sure the way this is set up, I should be heading pretty close to straight north right now. And it's got this little loop right here to the left. It pops out. I don't know what it's for, or if it's just to make it easier when they come down here with the work vehicles. But this pretty much takes you out to the creek out here. And looks like it crosses, but I haven't actually been able to cross it because ever since I've done this, it's always been a little on the cooler side, and really don't want to get my feet all wet. And this is Cinemahoning Creek. Doesn't look that high. You look over there. Does look like it crosses. There's more on that side. Like I said, I've never tried that. Seen plenty of people fish up and down this, mostly on the more northern end of it. So, from best I could tell when they were wading in the water, it wasn't very deep anywhere through here. But I'm not even sure how good the fishing is. I had one guy say he wasn't having very good luck, but a lot of people fish it, so he might have just been having a bad day or not had the right lure on. I also don't know if they stock this or not either. I would assume there's some deep spots in places. This doesn't seem like it's a very deep spot. I think at best we'd be looking at knee deep on me in most places from what I've seen. And I'm only 6 foot, so not super short, but I'm also not real tall either. I would say I'm average. So the average person I'd say would probably be up to their knee. You could get across this pair of shorts on. And I think this summer I'm going to have to try that. Today it is a little on the warmer side, but I'm just not taking that chance. I don't want to get my shoes all wet, and it does get cooler at night. It's 73 degrees when I got here, but it was like 40 degrees when I got up, and we've been having frost the past couple mornings. So I just don't really want to take that chance. Getting close to where we cross the road now. Unfortunately, it's past peak colors in fall, but there's gonna be a lot of glare that way from the sun, unfortunately. But this park is extremely beautiful, just like all the other ones up here. Just amazes me when you're walking through these places, just how small you feel when you look up into the mountains. Here we are at the road crossing. Well, you technically have to walk down the road a little bit. Not very much though. That's the way we went up to pick up the other end of the trail. Right up a little ways beyond what you can see is where you can cut up out of the park, or the one-way begins. And this is the trail here. If you're on this road, I think there's two other spots like the one we cut down to the creek, where you can do the same. They're just basically somebody cut through the weeds with a brush hog. They keep it mowed, and you can cut down and fish, or I guess wade in or whatever. I don't think there's much in the line of swimming, at least not for people. Like I said, I've never seen it deep enough, or a deep enough spot for me to swim at least. Let alone, I don't even think Benji could swim in it, truthfully. But he can definitely get in and get cooled off. And that's what's important about it, is just being able to cool off. They actually did a prescribed burn here back in August. I'll show you the sign right here. I wasn't here for it or anything like that. Sign, and here we're coming up on the trail right here to the left. I did some burning over on that side too. You can still see the remnants right there. But whenever we first moved here, been a little over a year at this point. Actually, a couple days over a year, to be perfectly honest. It's been, definitely haven't been coming here for a year. We didn't find this till a couple months after we were here. But anyway, we were driving down the road right through here when we saw the herd of elk over here in this field. And we were able to obviously notice that they had done a bunch of cutting and mulching of trees, for lack of a better way of putting it. The first time we were here, all through this area. And when we get up a little bit further, I'll show you where they did it again. So they definitely take care of the park, and they're trying to do everything they can to preserve it and do the proper things by doing the burns and cutting out the bad trees and such. I don't 100% understand it, but I also didn't go to school for forestry, so I'm not going to. If anybody knows why they do this stuff, I'm really glad to drop a comment and let me know. When we get up there, I'll show you where they did all the recent cutting and such. Over there is they call it wildlife viewing blind. But the only thing I've ever done over there is feed the dog. But it's here as we come up on, I believe this is the day use area. Basically there's I think it's a basketball court, or a little basketball court, a volleyball court. Got a pavilion, some bathrooms, swing set, etc. I'll show you when we get up here. And so I think it's considered the day use area. The day use area might be the beginning. This is something else. This is basically the middle part of the park as you're coming up the road from 120. There's the initial entrance, the secondary entrance, the campground entrance, then the entrance where I came into, where the park offices would be. And there is actually a fourth area up just a little bit further where the true beginning of the trail is. Because I didn't actually start at the beginning of the trail. I've only actually been ever up there once, and we started parking where we park now just due to the fact of there being an emergency phone, and that's where the rangers and stuff are at. Plus it's a bigger lot. The other one's really just in the middle of nowhere. But basically cuts, I guess round trip be like 2 miles. I think it's about a mile up and a mile back that we do cut off. We still get a good 7 miles out of it when we do this. Maybe once every 2 weeks or so. This is where you get over that viewing blind. Zoom in. Block out the sun a little bit. I think it was a little more prevalent when this was all wooded, because I believe they did the same thing back here that they did up here. And again, don't hold me to that because it was done when we got here, but it was where you saw that burn area and stuff, there was just a bunch of wood mulched. They had ran over the trees and mulched them up, basically like what they did up here this year. So like I said, I think they're just doing something to help preserve the land, help take care of it. But I don't think we came here till maybe it was into December. It's the first time we were here. It might have been late November or something. I don't remember the first. I remember the first time we came, because the very first time we came, right back there is where we saw, a herd of elk. There must have been 20 plus. It was a wild sight because that's the first time I'd ever seen one up close and personal. But here we come up on this little area. I think it's considered the day use area or something along those lines. It's the secondary road though that you come up into. They got little grills over along the creek. Like I said, there's a volleyball net and stuff like that. Got 2 pavilions. Bathroom right there. Swing slit sliding board. Grill there. Looks like there's picnic tables across the road and stuff. Over by the basketball hoop and volleyball net. Yeah, it's a really nice park. So here's another sign. They did this prescribed burn. And yeah, like I said, it's a really nice park. Seems like they take really good care of it. When we get back to where I parked, you'll see the Lake They Use area, Greenvine Wildlife Viewing Area. There's a sign right there. Can't remember what this one's called then. This isn't the day use area. Because there is a lake at the beginning. The Lowlands Trail doesn't go that far though. It pretty much just cuts up where I came in. Or where I cut in. I don't know, I'll have to figure it out. But anyway, I've seen a lot of people fish from here as well. It's got a decent amount of parking right over there. But anyway, where I parked, they built, I don't even know how much it would cost, but it's a huge, huge set of offices and wildlife visitor center, I believe is what they call it. It's massive. It's really cool. Personally, never been inside because, you know, got Benji. And the sign says on the front door, no Benjis allowed. So I can't exactly take him in there. And it's really hard to just leave him outside. You know, I mean, I guess when it's cool around, it wouldn't be as big of a deal, but I'm really not a fan of just leaving him in a vehicle unattended for any amount of time if I don't have to. It's one thing to run in someplace and grab something, but to go in someplace for a long period of time, I just really don't do that, or I try not to do that very often. I mean, I take him to do DoorDash, and once in a while I get stuck in places for 5 and 10 minutes. That's about it. I'm not a big fan of taking your dog and leaving him locked in a car for an hour or two while you go shopping or go do this or go do that. So one of these days I'll have to go check it out real quick, but it'll have to be a cooler day than what it is today. In early springtime, this was all standing trees. See the blue marks on some of them. What they use to tell the guys which ones not to cut. That whole field back there, where we cut basically from where we cut across the road there, it all looked like this the first time we got here. That was just all mulched up. Almost like they just ran it over with like a grinder or something. I don't claim to know a lot about it or anything like that, but I did see some weird machinery here. I didn't, get up close and personal to it. But I did see it here over the summer. And they were doing all this. I just didn't really get up close and personal to it. It was down by the road, and don't really ever get down there. Coming up on an intersection here, the Red Spruce Trail. It's marked in yellow, best I can tell. I've never been on it. One of these days I'm going to have to check it out. Just kind of comes up through here. Red Spruce Trail, Lowlands Trail. This part of the trail is hard packed gravel at this point. But yeah, this was all trees. They pretty much came through and took 90+% of them out. It was as thick as what you're seeing on the left was on the right, up through here. So yeah, I don't know exactly what they're trying to do or what the point of it is, but they have something planned. About to come up on the next road crossing. I mean, it's really the only other road crossing there is. I'm down there. The other one, like I said, we walk the road to, you know, cut back down and around to make it a loop. At least that part of the loop. But there's really only the 2 road crossings along this. And it just crosses Little Park Road. I think the speed limit on it's like 15 or 20. So nobody's ever really flying on it or anything like that. Gonna basically cut out on the road, cross this little bridge, and then cut back in on the other side. The grass part, never actually seen any bicycles on this part, and even that's rare. Most of the time you just see the bikes on the actual park road right here than on this actual trail. I've seen a lot more people just walking than anything else. What's this one? Norcross. I believe the name of this creek is going to be Norcross. Like I said, there's a couple of these little bridges here. I don't know about this one, but the other bridge that looks like this, I think they were done it said 2010 on it on the one stone, so they were probably all done around the same time. Little swampy area over there. Pretty much just cuts in over here. And more of the same. The campground is going to be up here off to the left. You can't see it from the trail, but it's not that much further down that road right there to get to it. And there's a couple little parking areas up here off to the left as well, where people who I've seen park there and come in to fish, and so on and so forth. Here we come up on a little bridge, and to the left you're going to have a little parking area right up there, right off the side of the road. And a lot of people do that. Then got these little trails beat in right here. I don't know if they come out really good on camera, where people go down in and go fishing. So this is I think the only parking area that actually connects to this, other than the main one where I parked and the one that's up further. There's just, I think, another parking area for overflow for the campground, if I remember correctly, right along the road. But anywho, I'm gonna keep heading back and go home and eat some dinner here pretty soon. Good shot of the creek and just how shallow it can be in a lot of spots. I mean, I imagine there's some deeper ones in here where the dog can swim or whatever. For the most part, anybody I've ever seen wading in it, fishing, has been alright with just some, they call them knee boots, wader boots or whatever. I've never seen anybody need a full-on suit, you know, if it goes up to your chest or whatever. If anybody knows if they stock this or not, let me know in the comments. That'd be awesome. So I do plan on getting back into fishing at some point here in the next couple years, hopefully. And it seems like it'd be a really cool stream to fish, if there's anything in it to fish. Because, I mean, it ain't no fun to fish unless you're going to catch something. I mean, you don't have to be catching all day, but got to catch a few to make it worthwhile. All right, this is where we cut up and head up to the vehicle, right here to the left. Like I said, the trail goes for another mile or so down to another parking area before it ends. So it'll be like an additional 2 miles added on to the 7 that we do. So it was 8, 9 miles total if you were to do the whole thing back out and back. But that's pretty much will do it for today's video. I hope you enjoy. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I guess when we get up, I'll show you the building where you park and everything. There's an emergency phone there. You can get maps, stuff like that. So I guess I'll still show you that when we get back to the truck. And this is the visitor center. It's massive. It's got a huge generator outside. Big CB antenna out back. There is a right there's gonna be the emergency phone and all that fun stuff. So go ahead. It's gonna be the wildlife center. And I think that'll do it for today's video. I hope you enjoy. Like, subscribe again, all that fun stuff. And we'll catch you on the next one.